Okay, welcome back to the Jason Gray Show. Okay, today we're going to talk about Hunter Biden, and let's just talk about why the media hasn't even said anything about it. But okay, so this is, of course, Joe Biden's son, president-elect, soon to be president here on January 20th. And he's walking into, of course, a scandal, right? During the election time, Fox News had talked about this briefly. Newsmax talked about it, but all the mainstream media outlets, Google, Facebook, NBC, MSNBC, all of them completely ignored this story. Of course, there was a laptop that was found of his that was found in Delaware, somewhere, Baltimore, or something like that, that he had dropped off at a computer tech person. He didn't come back and pay for it. And his computer then was given to the FBI and then given to Trump's attorney Giuliani, and then he has started releasing information on it. So it gets pretty deep. If you take a look at all the stories that have gone around in regards to Biden and his son, and now his brother, and it sounds like someone else, or some other relative, it really does sound like a pay-to-play or play for, inside information on the government. And of course, I think this happens. I don't think it doesn't happen. I mean, we're foolish to say it doesn't happen. But let's talk about this a little bit. So we'll talk about a couple of different subjects. Number one, he got the Ukraine money, which was $83,000 a month, and he had no experience in the oil industry. How did that happen? Joe Biden had called onto the president there and got the prosecutor fired, who was going ahead and was in the process of investigating or convicting the owner of this Burisma company that Hunter Biden was working for. So that's number one. Number two, the ex-mayor's ex-wife, mayor of Moscow, Russia, gave him, I guess, a couple $1 million just randomly a wire into his account. So we got Ukraine right now, you got Russia, and why are they giving him millions of dollars? It's a good question. Then you go to China. He gets on a plane with his dad on Air Force Two, flies to China, brokers a deal for some type of hedge fund, comes back 10 days later, or is it 15 days? 10 or 15 days later, he announces that he has partnered with this company who's based in China, who has ties to the Communist Party, to do a $1.5 billion hedge fund deal. So he flew on Air Force One to get this deal from China. So Joe Biden has said multiple times on record that he does not talk to his son about his business dealings. And I think he's came out and said that he's not talked to his son or his brother on these business dealings. So I guess his brother has a lot of ties to it too. Well, come to find out, after Joe was elected and everyone had the quietness of the election, come to find out that Hunter has been under investigation for 18 months in regards to money laundering, tax evasion, and it sounds like it continues to grow and grow and grow. So it sounds like Hunter's attorney came out yesterday and said that he needs to refile his tax returns for $400,000 of undisclosed income, which $400,000, give or take. There's so much more deeper to this story, right? So now when Biden gets into office, will he shut down any investigations that are happening? So what it sounds like is people are trying to make a push to get a special counsel involved, sort of like what they did with the Trump administration, right? They got the special counsel involved. So you can't shut down the special counsel because they're an independent piece. So that's why Trump really pretty much kept out of really everything on those things. He just had to let that stuff play itself out. So it almost feels like tit for tat right now, right? That happened to, Trump. Now it's happening to Biden. It just shows how corrupt and sick, government is, right? It is a incredibly corrupt environment. I don't want to get off topic, but like the stimulus money and whatnot, people that really need this stimulus money are people that are hurting, right? And the people that continuously get bailed out are big corporations and big businesses, and they really need to help the common people with unemployment benefits and stimulus money. It's been 6 months since that $1,200, and now they're only talking about giving out $600 for it. That's $100 a month. That does squat for anyone. But that's beside the point. I'm off topic. So Hunter's past is sketchy. He was in the Army. He got kicked out of the Army because of drug use. In the laptop that they had received from that computer repair guy, there was videos of heroin use, possibly underage sexual abuse with a child. That was turned into, I think, the Delaware Police Department. He got a stripper pregnant. She won that lawsuit in court. It's like massive that this kid has completely fallen apart and really used his dad's name to better himself. The big question is, did Joe know about it? And one of his co-workers, or the president of the old company he worked for, came out on Fox News months ago and said, yeah, Joe Biden knows about everything, and so does Hunter, and they're just keeping everything under wraps. And he had released some emails. He went to the FBI and talked about it. I guess about 30% of the voters that had voted said if they would have known about this information, they would have voted for Trump. The media, of course, protects the Democratic Party. Let's be real. We all know CNN, NBC, MSNBC, a lot of these outlets. Let's go Google, and let's go Facebook in there as well, and Twitter, are all lean towards the Democratic Party. And then the only one that really leans towards the Republican Party is Fox News and Newsmax. And Newsmax has been coming on heavily. So the point is they need to do some type of investigation with us. Let's get it out. Why every time that the couple times that Biden has been asked the question, he's not answered the question. He's completely ignored it, or said he's proud of his son, but doesn't answer anything. I think if a special prosecutor gets involved, at least they can just do their investigation. It'll last 2 or 3 years again, just like the Robert Mueller one did, and they'll come back with something and they'll make some excuse why it didn't happen. It's sort of sickening that all these people can get away with stuff in government and never get prosecuted for stuff that they do. It's shocking to me that happens. So anyways, we'll keep an eye on the Hunter Biden story. Let's see what happens with it. It does look crazy, and it does look pretty sickening, and we'll sort of see how this all plays out. And if it gets pretty serious, what will Biden do, right? Will he resign? Will he step down? Will there be unexpected health issues? His health is already deteriorating. You saw through the election and his struggles that he had. So it'll be interesting to see. I bet you at the end of the day, I'm not a betting man, but I really am. I bet you Kamala Harris becomes your president of the United States by him withdrawing or getting too ill. That's just my 2 cents. That's my prediction. We'll see what happens in a year or two. All right, talk to you soon. Give me your input.